In 2022, an indie game developer that goes by LW Media released a remake of Bloodborne, which pretty much took the original game and turned it into something that would have come out during the PlayStation 1 era. That remake was highly praised and for a couple of years was available to download for free, until 2025 where it was removed from download after LW Media received a takedown notice from Sony for the terrible crime of reminding people of Bloodborne's existence. After playing the remake for myself, it got me wondering how a Souls game would be like if it was made for the PlayStation 1. And so far, Prison of Husks is looking to be something like that, but so much more. Prison of Husks is a game created by Glasshead Dolls, a development team directed by Hexospear, and is inspired by the level design of Dark Souls, as well as the worlds created by Team Eco. A prototype for the game was originally released in 2023 on itch.io. However, as of the 7th of June 2025, a demo has been released on Steam for the upcoming fully fleshed version of the game. In this video, I'll be checking the demo out while also giving my thoughts on it, and who knows, maybe I'll make a more in-depth video on it once the full game releases in the future. So without further ado, let us check out Prison of Husks. Prison of Husks starts off in a prison where you play as this doll.
I am a doll.
Where after speaking with a stranger hanging from a cage outside of our window, they give us the key to get out of our cell, where we set off to escape from the prison. The prison has a couple of dolls roaming around that will try to attack you if spotted by them. However, as we don't have a weapon on us, currently we have no way of defending ourselves. The best thing that we can do for now is run past them or dodge their attacks. Prison of Husks has an armor system that allows you to take free hits without taking any damage before it breaks. Any hits taken after this will then start to affect your health. Once your armor is broken, you do have the chance to repair it by filling up this bar, which not only fills up slowly over time, but also when dealing damage to enemies. If you happen to take any damage at all, however, the bar will be reset to 0, so basically if you want your armor back, just don't get hit, Lamel. Prison of Husks' general combat system is similar to many other Souls-like games. However, the combat is more akin to Sekiro, or more comparatively to Lies of P, with the combat more focusing on parrying to break the enemy's stance. When you block at the right time of an enemy's attack, you not only nullify the damage, but you also regain stamina. Failing to do a perfect block will cause you to run out of stamina, and depletion of stamina leads you to being unable to do any actions, leaving you open to enemy attacks. Once you have either dealt enough damage or parried an enemy enough times, you eventually break their stance, allowing you to go in for that satisfying visceral attack. One interesting mechanic in Prison of Husks is adrenaline, which if you have played Bloodborne is kind of reminiscent of the Beasthood stat. Next to your stamina gauge is a red bar that fills each time you dodge, attack, or parry an enemy. Once your adrenaline gauge is full, not only do you deal more damage, but you also gain the ability to lifesteal, which means that you regain health as you deal damage. The only downside to adrenaline is your defense is lower while it's full. As you can see with the adrenaline and parrying system, Prison of Husks combat is far more aggressive than the Souls series. It honestly feels like a combination between Bloodborne and Sekiro, which are two games that I absolutely love. There are of course the few staples found in Prison of Husks that are common with other Souls-likes, with items such as the Scarlet Flasks acting as your Estus Flasks, which refills each time you rest or respawn at a mirror, mirrors acting as this game's equivalent of a bonfire. Aside from flasks, you can also find ribbons that also heal you, but get consumed upon being used. So pretty much they're like the life gems from Dark Souls 2. You know, everyone's favorite installment, Black Gulch, am I right? Prison of Husks also has a crafting system where you can combine two items together like how you would in Resident Evil. In the demo, from what I can find, there are only 2 items that you can craft, but I am pretty stoked to see what else you can craft in the full release. Shortly after finding a sword, nearby we can meet a doll hanging in a cage. Speaking to them, the doll offers to help us with our escape if we can find the lever to lower their cage. Reaching the bottom floor, we can find the gate that leads us outside of the prison, however the lever to open the gate seems to be missing. After finding the lever that lowers the doll's cage, they thank us and then gives us the key to the prison's chapel, which is assumably where we can find the lever handle to open the prison gates. Alternatively, we can also lower the doll's cage by cutting the chain. That was pretty funny. Unlocking the door to the prison's chapel and then entering, we face the boss of the demo that puts everything we've learned so far in the prison to the test. This fight is honestly pretty tough. You have pretty minimal stamina and health too, as there is no leveling system in the demo, so it is really easy to get staggered since you don't have a lot of stamina to work with. To make matters even worse though, once you have dealt enough damage to the boss, 2 other dolls are then raised, putting you under more pressure. But after enough tries, we eventually defeat the champion, where after picking up the key for the prison gates, we make our exit, thus ending the demo. I am very excited to see where this game goes. While there are many developers out there that try to make their own Souls-like, personally I find with the combat with most of them does not feel right. Prison of Husks, however, did a great job at making the controls feel solid while adding their own spin on the combat system. I also absolutely fell in love with the game's atmosphere and its melancholic tone, and I look forward to delving more into the game's world once it's fully released. I am very excited to see where this game goes. There are a couple of secrets which you can find in the demo which I have not revealed, which despite showing off the game in this video, I still highly recommend checking out the game yourself, because man, the demo is just so much fun. But anyway guys, thank you all for watching the video, and I hope to catch you all in the next one.